Raw Taco here, continuing with the young Thai coconuts to make coconut almond yogurt. Already did a short video on cracking the nuts, a short video on de-meating the nuts. Now what I'm going to do is the water I'm going to drain into a bottle, and then just kind of sift through the meat to show you how to get the meat clean from the shell and other particles and fibers. So I'm just going to take the water and just dump it into here. It makes it a little bit easier to drain into the bottle, because I'll keep it in this bottle in the fridge. And this is such good, vibrant, full of electrolytes water that you don't want to waste any of it if at all possible. So I just do this to prevention. If I spill it, it catches it in a bowl. So yeah, it's one of the healthiest, if not the healthiest water that I understand that you can put into your system. That's full of just all kinds of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, electrolytes that help your system hydrate, function, and work as the Heavenly Father created our physical bodies to work. As in the Word, the Bible, it says the living Word, and Jesus Christ is the living Word that came down here to earth. At the same time, He made, in the creation, when they made everything, they made vibrant waters and foods to nurture and to heal and to administer to our bodies, to recover when our bodies get ill and they break down. And of course, in our toxic society today, not just spiritually toxic, mentally and emotionally, but physically toxic, I can do all I can inside this unit, this house, and but there's so many things in here made of synthetic materials. But as soon as, that's one, and then when you close everything in and it's winter and you got the heat, or in summer you got the air, it's just you're in this closed capsule. Then you walk outside, a plane flies over, and you got toxins there. If you drink or bathe in tap water, your body absorbs, and common in most waters in America is chlorine and fluoride, which we have the better water system compared to the world, especially third world countries. However, it's still toxic to the body. So I don't, outside of, a shower, to avoid soaking or drinking, the water to minimum as possible, or not at all, and to seek out the best filter. We're in the process of seeking out the best filter system for the house and for our bodies to drink, as far as the shower, drinking. So here is the wonderful water from coconuts, and that's the water. And let me jump over here and to this side and kind of sift through the coconut. And so you got, in a lot of the coconut, you get some big pieces that pop out, and then you get some you'll get a lot of big pieces, and you'll get some little slivers. So you just kind of sift through it with your hand, and just when you got a thick piece of meat, just kind of rip it up, and just you'll feel right through it, and you break off any kind of shell particle, any kind of fibers, and just go through them with your hand. And I usually use like a paper towel or two and every once in a while I'll rinse my hands off, and but just to kind of just skim through this, just to make sure there's no fiber. Fiber's not going to hurt you as much as the shell, but the fiber will break down some in the Dynablend, in the high-speed blender. I recommend anytime you chop up coconut meat, or anytime you chop up soaked almonds or other nuts that are soaked, to use a high-speed blender. And we use the Dynablend from Tribest, and you can acquire that through us if you would choose to, so just get a hold of us. So yeah, just kind of with your fingers, just kind of browse through there and just feel and look and check around the edges. And you know, there's some fiber that sometimes doesn't come off so easy, but it's not the shell. The shell, it's, you know, it's like this. That's part of the shell. That's part of the shell. These pieces here, and they'll come off. And here, like sometimes you'll get the fiber, like right here. Sometimes you'll get that to come off. See how the meat's still stuck to it? It won't come off the whole piece. Well, there it is. It just did. So, and you get the meat. You eliminate the fiber if you need to, but it's definitely like the shell. It's like here's a little piece of shell and there's a little piece of meat on there. Just kind of scrape it like that. Feel the meat. Make sure there's no other. And then like right here, here's a piece of meat with a big piece of shell on it, and it's kind of broken because that's where the Cocoa Jack cracked it. It's going to take a couple pieces to get this off, and I just get the big pieces off, and then I check the pieces of the shell and get the fiber off if I can, and check the pieces of the shell to make sure I didn't leave any good pieces, sources of meat on there. And yeah, so that's pretty much what you do. And you just kind of sift through it with your fingers. And then what you do is put it in a blender, a high-speed blender, and to make your coconut almond yogurt, to make smoothies. And it just breaks it down to the cellular level. And it just makes it so readily available for your body to absorb, especially with healthy, vibrant, fresh nutrients. So that's it for this video. We'll talk to you. Stay tuned.